So welcome to this edition of Blast Bites. Today I have Edinburgh personal trainer, Streamline Personal Training, Susan Mcfarlane with us. Susan came to me a few weeks ago to suggest, and I think it's a brilliant suggestion, that we talk about running during pregnancy and post-pregnancy. And I certainly know that I've seen on Facebook and other platforms lots of mums and new mums and pregnant mums to be asking questions of, is it safe? How far can I run? If I'm feeling a bit achy, should I stop? And I just think, yeah, a wee bit of advice and chat about it would resonate with a lot of mums and new mums out there just now. So thank you, Susan. It's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. Hello, everybody.
So if we put it into context, just a wee bit about yourself, Susan, as a personal trainer, how long you've been running, and yeah, if you ran while you were pregnant.
So I am a runner myself. I have basically ran pretty much ever since I can remember school days. I did it part of a lot of training for all the sports I did at school, like the good old bleep test we had to do, part of hockey training. And so I used to just, that's it, get out. I was lucky enough, I lived in the outskirts of Edinburgh, so I had great outdoors, all this sort of out the way of the busy roads. So I used to go out, get my trainers on, and I just used to run for a fair wee distance. And I've always loved it. It's a bit of, I would say, running sort of my time. Don't get me wrong, I do love running with other people. Running buddies are great, but also it's good for a bit of just, getting away and switching off for however long you go out for. Even if it's just half an hour, it's better than nothing.
Oh, absolutely.
So
now more than ever, I would say. More than ever.
It's so important. Yeah, I mean, I think generally we can we are, I think we can all vouch how grateful we are that the fact we can still get out and do exercise at the moment, because it does, I think, from everybody says it, it helps us mentally wise hugely right now. So I would generally say I'm mainly more of a longer distance runner. I have done a few marathons, full and half marathons, and it's just something I'm totally passionate about. And I
can tell.
I know. That's it. I'm going to get my trainers on after this, and I'm out. It gives you the buzz.
So did you run during your own pregnancy then?
Yeah, so I did start because again, I knew how it was, safe, and again, it's all about just listening to your body. That's the most important thing. And I wouldn't just say with running, I would say any type of physical exercise. It's all about just listening to your body as when you're pregnant. But and that's what I did, because I actually had to stop running at about 13 weeks. Not that I got told, it was my own mental sort of decision. Because I was having sort of a bit of discomfort in my hip flexors. I felt that it just didn't feel right. I was just like, and I'd never experienced it before, and I thought, no, I think this is just something a bit unusual. I've never had it before. Maybe this is just due to my pregnancy. And I thought, I'm just going to be safe here. I'm just going to call it a day, and that's what I did. So it's all about just listening, and it wasn't that I called it a day. I didn't do anything. I did still exercise, but I just didn't go out running.
Didn't go running. I was the same actually with my first pregnancy. I think I got to 20 weeks, and it wasn't pain. It was bladder control, and I just needed. I didn't actually leak as such, but I kept feeling like I really, really needed to go, and I actually went into hotels and all sorts of places just to use their loo. Didn't need. Because I didn't need. It was just when that baby was bouncing up and down on my bladder, and I thought, it's not worth it. So baby number 1 was about 20 weeks, and baby number 2, I just didn't. We tried for quite a few years for number 2, and I did other forms of exercise, like you're saying. I walked a lot. I did some gym work as well, actually, but just didn't run. But that was me.
Yes, I mean, you're totally right, and I think that's what, just to get across to people, is so important, that you will get back to run, you know.
Yes.
And
oh, you do.
My theory behind that, my theory behind it was, you know, I asked myself, well, what long-term damage am I going to be doing to myself? You know, at the end of the day, I would rather just hold off, wait for, okay, I'm just going to say 9 months. I know sometimes it can be whatever, and then I'll get back. I'd rather be, you know, able to get back to after having my child than basically getting told, sorry, you can't run again, you know, or having that discomfort, you know, after having the baby, you know, again, as you said, you know, I mean, I could have had long-term hip flexors, you know, pain. You could have ended up constantly thinking that you might need to go to the toilet, you know, and it's, absolutely. You know, and that's not enjoyable. No. You know, it's not enjoyable. So I would, that's what I did. But as you said, other exercises like you could do, you know, you could get on the bike, you know, you could, you know, and things like that. Okay, be careful in the way of, depending on, you know, when I'm just going to say a bit of safety here, cycling on an outdoor bike, being pregnant, please do be careful, like any other thing. But, you know, what I actually did, because of course gyms were open at the time, I was a member of a gym. I basically just did a lot of cycling, cross trainer, again, you know, yourself, you know, cross-training is like running, so you know, you could do that, and that was a bit more that was hell lot more comfortable going out pounding. I don't know what it was. I just thought no, leave it there. So but it just doesn't say just because you can't go out and run, there is other stuff to do.
Absolutely, you know, but then on the flip side, I just want to say, you know, for girls that are out there running and they're not having any problems, I've had friends who've run right up until the end, and go for it. That's it.
And that's what I'm saying. Listen to your body. If your body feels great, go for it. You know. But you know, I love seeing a pregnant runner. Oh, I know it. It is. It's lovely. But that's one of the key thing, and they do say that. I mean, all the midwives say as well. The key thing about pregnancy is you listen to your body. The body tells you. You know. So,
and I think runners are actually quite good at that. We're used to having little niggles. We're used to having wee complaints and learning to, you know, is that worth running through that calf injury, or no? Do you know what? I'm going to ease off, and it's the same. It's absolutely the same. So, would you say that there's any? What would be your most common question then when people come to you? Let's say we'll do pregnancy first, and then we'll maybe do post-pregnancy. So what would you say is your most common question if a pregnant lady comes and says, listen, can I still run? What's the common question? And your advice is listen to your body, but is the most common question, can I still run?
Yeah, I would actually generally say that is the key, or else how long can I run up for, you know, when can I, you know, how far up can I run? And we've just said it there, it's listening to your body. You know, we see pregnant women, you know, going out, and I've worked with people that have ran all the way up until they're, you know, pretty much having that baby. You know, again, it might not generally be the pace you'd be running at normally, of course. Let's just be, you know, your pace is going to slow down, but they're still out there, you know, getting those feet off the ground. It's not a walk. But and then another common question I do get is, or they ask, I do sort of train runners, is, oh, my back's starting to feel a bit sore, you know. And, you know, of course, what happens to us ladies when we're pregnant, our chests get a little bit bigger. So it's just making sure that generally, I mean, now you know, good sports bra, you know, make sure, and things like that. There's things that you can sort of help, but that's probably another question I do get from a few women that are pregnant. Oh, I'm starting to feel my back starting to get a wee bit sore. To be honest, again, if that was me, I would just say, you know, call it quits, you know. Go out for walks. That's another thing, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, you know, get the arms pumping. This, you know, you can still power walk.
Absolutely.
That wouldn't do you anything, and that would generally still help keep your stamina up. And so when you do eventually go back to your running again, you know, it won't be as hard, because so I would generally say probably that the key question is so when do I have to stop running? And it's just like, and
I suppose likewise, once the baby is born, your probably most common question is, when can I start again?
No, it is. Again, you know, you hear it all the time, wait till you're 6 weeks, check. Well, no. I would generally, again, you need longer than that. My recommendation is, you know, I am a personal trainer. I train people how to get fit and sort of, you know, build like a certain, you know, build them back up to running or things like that. But I'm not a physio. I don't you know, I'm not medical. And what I would recommend you do is, especially if you are a really, really sort of keen runner and you know, you're like, you know, really going to go and pound those pain, I would just, and actually, to be honest, anybody into any type of physical education, physical activity, really I would recommend going and see a physio who specialises in postnatal. It was one of the best things I did, and it wasn't actually, I got told to actually, I was recommended by a really good friend to actually, she referred me on to this physio in Edinburgh, the physio mummy, some people might know her, Adele, and she said, once you have your baby, Susan, she says, I would recommend you go and see Adele just to get your check over and make sure your pelvic floor is great, because even though you might not be having leakage, you know, in the way of, you know, needing the toilet all the time, things, you still could have a weak pelvic floor, and the only person that can really sort of identify that is a physio. So get yourself checked out, and then you know, they'll tell you and they'll give you exercises to do. But it's not, I would generally recommend you don't just go, right, I've had my baby, I've had my 6 weeks check, let's get on the road. Yeah, go out walking, brilliant, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah,
I know, it's hard, isn't it, when you've been a runner, and especially for a long time, and you know, you're just desperate to get back to it. And I was the same. And if anything, I also went to Adele, actually. I'll put her website in the show notes, because for Edinburgh mums and mums to be, she's great. There are others out there, I should say.
There is others out there. You know, even if you're not in Edinburgh, you know, you will have some. There's so many out there.
Specialists out there. Yeah. So no, it was great. I just wanted to say that it was nice to have Adele to kind of give me permission not to start yet. In my head, I was starting to feel a bit guilty, a little bit, or maybe guilty is the wrong word, but I was wanting to start again. And I think I needed someone else to tell me to calm down and you will get back to it. And here's some exercises to do that will allow you to be a better, stronger runner when your body is ready to get back to it. And yes, in the meantime, go for walks, do other things, but running is pretty full on for the body. And especially after pregnancy, you know, you're still lax.
And even if you were, I would just want to say, you know, even if you did run all the way up to your pregnant, you know, the birth of your child, still go and get assessed, because think about it, you know, as I was just explaining to you, okay, your pace is not going to be, it was before you fell pregnant, all the way. It's going to get slower. Your stride's going to get shorter, you know, because so it's different. So after you've had the baby, and then you go back out, you've not got this extra weight, you've not got this bump in front. So you're going to, by suddenly going from little steps up to then back to, it's a massive shock on the body, you know. So it's, and the most important thing is rest. That is a key thing. Don't feel, you know, enjoy this time with your child. You've just grown this beautiful thing inside you, you know.
Oh, I know, Susan, I know, but remember, when you've got a newborn, I know, of course, you love that child, but you need some time for yourself.
So the key thing is to make sure that you rest, you recover, let your body recover after birth as well, no matter how you've given birth. It's a key thing is that, because of course, you could have the vaginal birth and then you've maybe had a C-section. C-section is, you know, what I had a C-section. I've had my tummy split, muscle split open. It's a surgery.
Yeah, so it's major.
You never actually know exactly what damage, you know, what actually happened down, you know, in your vagina either. So you've got to let it recover before, you know, as well. So, but the thing is as well, if you go and get assessment by, you know, a physio who specialise in postnatal, they'll be able to tell you that as well, you know, and it's so important. It puts your mind to rest, because, you know, I was like you exactly. I was like, when can I go out and run? I couldn't go out. I couldn't run for, Adele told me 4 months. I was like, oh my God, you know, but I was like, no, because long term, that is the key. If I go out there and ignore this and go, right, I'll go out after 2 months, and then, you know, and it's a thing as well, it's something that, you know, I was told as well, Susan, you might be fine up to like 3 years, but then when your kid's 7 or 9 years old, you could then have damage.
All right.
So not necessarily, so that's why it's so important that you look after yourself post pregnancy, because you might feel that I've got no leakage, I've got no pain anywhere, but then 7, 9 years down the line, and I've got friends, I'm going to be quite honest, I've got friends that have got 9, 10-year-old kids, and they are really struggling, but they didn't have it after having their kids, you know, after birth.
No, it's just it's not spoken about enough, is it? You know,
well, you're right, and that's why, you know, that's why I really did think, you know, I thought this is probably a really good thing to say, and don't be afraid, don't be embarrassed about anything, any symptoms you have after having a kid. You know, we're all, you know, we're human. Things happen,
and you will not be the first person that this has happened to. Yeah, and
it does put your mind, if you start talking to other women or, you know, about these things, it puts your mind to rest. It helps.
Absolutely.
And as you said, when Adele said, do this to me, I was like, okay, fine, I'll do what I'm told. You know, I don't do that often, but, you know, because I love it. I love running. So I thought, well, you know, somebody that specialises in this, who knows what she's talking about, tells me, you know, Susan, no, you've got 4 months or whatever, then I'm going to listen, because I want to be back running. I want to be able to maybe hopefully run a marathon again, you know. And
have you?
So no, but it isn't like it is. I am, well, yeah, I think just you don't realise how much, well, yeah, I've only got the one, so God help you with 2, but you know the timing, you know, it's just like, you know, it's, but I think when the time's right, I would definitely love to do another marathon.
Oh, definitely. Oh, well, Susan, thank you. I think it's a nice place to end there.